Y'all thought what we heard about this man on the show was bad enough. There's so much more. So Jessie Woo and Ricky had Tyler's baby mama's ex-wife on their YouTube tea party, right? I urge y'all, if y'all ever get the chance, to run over to YouTube on Jessie Woo's page and look up the Love is Blind DC tea party with her and Ricky. It's a little over 2 hours because it includes the commentary on all the other cast members, but I just want to focus on Tyler because, like, y'all, this man is diabolical. And you know what? That baby mama is trash too. And you know what's wild? When that baby mama went on TikTok and did that little 4 or 5 part TikTok series explaining her side or whatever, not that I didn't believe her, but also I was like, there's a lot of things missing. There seem to be too many holes not filled in that story. And you know what? Her ex-wife done filled those holes in. Let me tell y'all, if you're not caught up, this is Bree. She goes by Bri. And then we have the wife, well, ex-wife now of Bri, who's Deshawn. Them two were married. Tyler was a friend of theirs. And then they had a larger group of friends that consisted of all males. So while Tyler was friends with Bri and Deshawn, who were married at the time, right? Them two were in the military. Tyler was not. And then they had their big group of friends. Tyler had a fiance at that time. He was engaged to be married. Deshawn said Tyler was cheating on that ex-wife every weekend. And Tyler would come back to them talking about his sexcapades and all that stuff from the weekend. He was a cheater from jump. And one of the guys within that group who was friends with all of them as well had a wife. He liked to watch his wife have relations with other men and watch. And so Tyler was part of that crew who was banging his friend's wife. Lord. Around Bri's 30th birthday, Deshawn, she was just like having these feelings that her and Tyler was doing something because she asked her. Tyler was there at the party. They both denied it, but Deshawn didn't let it go. Like, she kept bringing it up and asking. Relationship with her wife was physically abusive. So, like, her asking would turn into a physical abusive argument. And she was saying how Bri would get defensive and mad, telling her she was disrespectful for accusing her of having relations with a man when she knows she's a lesbian. So pretty much Deshawn stopped asking. She's like, I was tired of the physical abuse and all that stuff. I stopped asking. Move on to Bri wanting to have a baby. When we heard from the wife that it was a donor situation, that was true. But Deshawn did not want to know the donor. But Bri was telling her, hey, I have friends that I know I want to do whatever, and pretty much just wanted Tyler. And Deshawn wasn't comfortable with it, but you know what? She was like, you know, it's her first baby because Deshawn already had a baby before. So she's like, you know what? It'll be Bri's first baby, you know, that she carries, whatever. So we'll just do it with Tyler. But she said she did not want it the old fashioned way, that she wanted to do it turkey baster method. Understandable. You're married to your wife. You don't want her having relations with the man you already think they're doing something with. So she wasn't cool with that. She was like, has to be turkey baster method. Boom. So for 2 months they tried, and Deshawn and Bri would always take a pregnancy test, you know, after the fact. Like, they were tracking and everything. If anybody's been through infertility or stuff like that, trying to have a baby, y'all know what I'm talking about. So they were tracking her cycle and everything. They knew when to test, and it was negative both times. Remember that. Also remember, it wasn't like turkey baster method, but it was like a cup. They would take Tyler's stuff and, you know, put it in the cup and then shove the cup inside rather than like a turkey baster. Deshawn said they only had 2 of those cups. They had bought 2 of those. Remember that. Fast forward, Deshawn goes out of town. She wasn't gone long. I think she said 2 weeks, right? Comes back. Bri picks her up from the airport. They get home. She takes her pregnancy test and she's pregnant. Deshawn breaks down crying. She said that was the moment that she knew her wife cheated on her. And here's where more lies come out from the baby mom's side, right? She told us on TikTok that Deshawn left before the baby was even born, which was a lie, says Deshawn. She went on a trip for a baby moon, and that's the time where she's saying Bri said she left, like as if she left her abandoned before the baby was even born. Like, no, she went away on a trip and came back. Bri picked her up from the airport, and that's when she actually went into labor. So Bri going on TikTok painting her ex-wife in the light of like somebody who walked out on her and the baby, total lies. I believe Deshawn 1,000%. I think the ex-wife was trash. I think Tyler was trash. And you know what? That's why they were best friends. Because what's that saying? Birds of a feather. Now, fast forward, right? This is where I'm like looking at the baby mama like, you really are, you know, low down for that. You and Tyler are just, fast forward. Bri files for full custody of the first, not the twins, the son that her and her wife at the time planned together, right? Bri filed first, and then Deshawn filed like right after, like a day after, I think it was. Both Tyler and Bri team up together and lied on this girl and told the courts that she was never involved in the first kid. She was never involved in his life. Ain't that some mess? Poor Deshawn, because she said that whole mess just left her like, she had to go to therapy, like she was depressed. It was a whole thing. And so she ended up just giving custody. It was too much. That's pretty much how Bri got full custody, even though Deshaun's name is on his birth certificate and everything. But pretty much Tyler and Bri like just squeeze her out the relationship. So it's still up in the air if the first kid was actually conceived naturally or by insemination, whatever. But she won't even say if she did or not. If you see her TikTok stories, it's like she kind of skirts around that, but she'll adamantly say that the twins were made naturally with Tyler, but she won't say if the first kid was or not. And you know what? Her ex-wife made a great point. Because they're in the military, in terms of keeping the family together, they have strict laws around that. Like if you cheat, you get like a charge or whatever. And Deshaun makes a great point. She believes her ex-wife hasn't said anything about the first kid, if it was true or not, that it was natural insemination, whatever, because that would get her another charge, because she already has a charge by having the twins with Tyler, because yeah, they were going through a divorce, her Bri and Deshaun, but because they were still technically still married and she had the twins outside of her and her wife, she got a charge from the military from that. Well, she believes the first kid was done that way as well, but like she's not shedding light on it or anything because she don't want another charge. I believe it all. How are you gonna cheat as a married woman to a man and you're not even intimate? But let me bring it back to Tyler. There's this woman who sent her text exchange with Tyler to Ricky, and it shows Tyler pretty much asking the girl to Netflix and chill. And the girl didn't think anything of it. She was sending the text exchange to Ricky so she can show her and verify to her like, yeah, he owes me money. Because if y'all don't know, this man got judgments against him from like multiple different women that he owes money for. So that girl was just showing in, sending in her receipts. She didn't think anything of it, but Ricky being Ricky, she's like looking at the dates and times and all that stuff of the text exchange. This man trying to Netflix and chill with her. Y'all, it was during filming. They were already engaged, living in the apartments with one another. So Tyler is messaging this woman to Netflix and chill when he's living with his fiance. Menace. All I can say is, you know what? I'm not going to even say it, because you know what? We all need to stop telling Ashley to run or watch her back or whatever. She don't need us trying to save her. Because listen, I learned a long time ago, you can't be saved unless you want to save yourself. She on her own. This is your warning of potential spoilers for the upcoming season 7 Love is Blind reunion. We got Leo and Brittany. They're pretty much there cracking jokes. What the producers should have done was follow them to Miami. Give us something. They're not together and Brittany's dating somebody else. Monica and Steven, they don't even get to the bottom of the text messages. They don't show it to us, nothing. Womp womp. Hannah and Nick. So rather than focusing heavy on Hannah's despicable attitude towards her fiance, the host focused on grilling Nick, y'all. Because supposedly during filming, he was going around telling all the boys how he was not attracted to Hannah. So obviously he's denying it. But then Ramses ends up saying, yeah, Nick did tell him that. So Nick admits, okay, what I said was I was underwhelmed. Garrett and Taylor, they're still married. They didn't move to San Diego, but they're still together. Alex and Tim, not too much on them. It's just a lot of Tim talking. Ramses and Marissa. Ramses does get grilled on how he portrayed himself in terms of like the whole military thing and being progressive and not wanting to wear a condom and all that stuff. Also, Marissa's mom is there. Tyler and Ashley, last but not least, y'all, they just gonna double down on the fact that they had a conversation off camera and that Ashley knew everything going in and all this stuff. They're still blissfully married and they're a joke. And that's all, y'all. Pretty underwhelming if you ask me. And if y'all want more details on this, because I went through it really quick, go check out Storytime with Ricky either on TikTok or here on Instagram. And she talks about this, but like goes in more detail. I think I'm done with the show after the Boston season because I'm from there and I want to see who they casted.